Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is the one Great Ajax Gaming coming at you again with another review. I'm trying to expand my channel, figure out what all interests people, and I've been doing some pepper reviews. I've done one craft beer review, which seems to have done okay, but I'm thinking now I might expand my audience into some knife reviews, steel reviews, sharpening, tutorials, and stuff like that. So hit me in the comments with what you want to see, and we will move on from there. But this morning, I just sharpened up my Kershaw Dimension again. It is 8Cr13MoV steel, which is the Chinese equivalent of Aus 8. Generally, when you find a knife made out of Aus 8, it is a much higher price point than this knife. And this is the Kershaw Dimension 8Cr13MoV steel. It's kind of funny looking in the handle, but as you can see, it's very thick. It has a flow-through design, titanium spacers in there. It's got titanium handle. This pocket clip is very nice too. It's probably my favorite pocket clip, and I have a ton of different knives, like a couple dozen knives, and this knife stays nice and secure in my pocket, and it's not too hard to pull out. Sometimes what you'll do is, you know, say this is your pocket, you'll actually wedge it back like that and then press against it to pull it out. But I'd rather be too much resistance than not enough resistance. So I really like this knife. And the best thing about this knife is it was $30. And you can see it's a very thick billet of steel in there for the blade. Got some very large thumb studs here. Got some knurling on the top. So it's very positive. It does take some pressure to deploy, but you can also use the flipper on the back, which Kershaw always includes on their speed safe openings, and that's much easier to deploy. See if we can zoom in on this. See if it'll, no, it won't focus. Okay, that says 3810. That's the product number for the Kershaw Dimension. And with this being a titanium handle, I mean, you could basically run this over with a truck and there would be no damage to it at all. This thing is definitely built to last. Thick steel. It's got toughness and it's got hardness. I have one tiny chip in the blade, which I've buffed out over and over and over. You probably, I'm not going to be able to catch it on this camera because I've buffed it down to almost nothing. After I sharpen it a couple more times, it will literally be nothing. But I can generally use this knife for about a month at a time without resharpening. And then the resharpening process takes somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour. I probably spent about 40 minutes on it today because I've used it a lot over the past month, but there are periods where I use it more, or I use it on tougher materials or whatnot. But I'm using your basic 5-stone Lansky sharpening set, and it sharpens up really fine. Like I said, from a chemical standpoint, this is the same as Aus 8 steel. And this is a $30 knife. You can get it on Blade HQ right now for $30. It's got a $100 MSRP. I've had this for about 6 months. I've probably sharpened it 6 or 7 times in about that amount of time. And just the fine edge that you can get on this knife for $30 is pretty much unbeatable to me. Check out my arm hair right here. Like, that is That is a pretty darn sharp knife. And we'll go ahead and do a few swipes for the paper test that everybody seems so fond of. You can get really thin strips out of it. And you can just, you know, well, not so much on that one, but "30 minutes of work for a knife that has an edge like that, and takes about a month of cutting through cardboard and tape. You can't beat it. Kershaw Dimension 8Cr13MoV steel. Can't beat it for the price point. This is the one grade Ajax.